Welcome to Law You Should Know. The law affects every aspect of our lives, our home, our jobs, and our recreational activities. Now you can learn about the law and how to protect yourself against the loss of your liberty or property. Learn how to stand up for your rights and seek compensation when you have been wronged. Your host for Law You Should Know is attorney Kenneth J. Landau with the Mineola Law Firm of Shane, Dox, Denisi, and Corker. He's a member of the Committee on Professional Ethics of the Bar Association of Nassau County and counsel to the Nassau Academy of Law. And now, here is your host for Law You Should Know, attorney Kenneth J. Landau.
Hi, this is Ken Landau, and welcome to Law You Should Know. Our guest today is Stephen C. Lessard, and he's the president of the New York County Lawyers Association. Sir, welcome to Law You Should Know.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you for having me.
And tell us about the New York County Lawyers Association.
Sure. I'm particularly proud to have this opportunity to lead the New York County Lawyers Association, or NYCLA, because the association was founded on the principles of diversity and inclusion. It was founded in 1908 at a time when almost every bar association did not admit all attorneys, and often that lack of admission was based on race, religion, or gender. NYCLA was founded specifically because it wanted to be a bar association that was inclusive and admitted all attorneys who were admitted to the bar. So founded in 1908, and since that time has adhered to that bedrock principle of diversity and inclusion throughout its history.
And how does your bar association differ from some of your neighboring bar associations? You know, uptown, the association for the city of New York, and also the New York State, and let's say the American Bar Association. Sure.
I think it's probably a past president coined the term that NYCLA was the Bar Association of Opportunity, and I really think that's what differentiates us from other bar associations. We really provide an opportunity, particularly for younger lawyers and newer lawyers, to become active in the association, active in the committee structure, in the city, in the sections, active in the leadership, and to move up and to be able to play a role in NYCLA. And I think that really sets us apart from other bar associations where, you know, often you spend quite a bit of time before you're even allowed to be a member of a committee, other than if you're in the young lawyers section.
And on that note, you have a very robust young lawyers section, very low other sections reflecting the diversity of the Bar Association?
Yes, and I think that's, again, because of this opportunity for younger lawyers to really play a meaningful, active role in the Bar Association. So our young lawyers section is very active, and they host a number of events, both networking and educational events. We have committees that are devoted to diversity, women in the law, LGBT, civil rights, and so forth. So it truly is an association of opportunity.
And speaking of opportunity, you really have a free dues policy for law students, for law school graduates, for the first year that a lawyer is admitted to practice.
Yes, and again, that's to try to provide that opportunity for lawyers to really participate in NYCLA. We truly believe that once those attorneys get a taste of NYCLA and what membership means, that they will become active members and dues-paying members later on.
And you have, I know with your CLE program, you have a robust live Bridge the Gap program, which gives young attorneys a chance to get the CLE they need, the Bridge the Gap program, and also to network, to meet other lawyers in similar fields, in other fields, and with similar challenges.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a primary goal of our CLE program, is to provide not just education, but also opportunities to network opportunities for mentorship. And so our CLE director is very active in trying to promote those opportunities, not only for younger lawyers, but for more experienced lawyers as well.
And once lawyers join, as you say, you provide leadership opportunities. Tell us about how some of those things happen.
It really begins in the committee. We have the opportunities for younger, newer lawyers to become involved in the committee leadership. It gives them a chance to kind of find their roots within the organization, for the opportunity to see other levels of leadership in the organization, whether at the board or as officers, and a chance to kind of find themselves as they move up through the association.
And are most of your members from, small law firms, sole practitioners, or some large and international law firms?
Yeah, we have a mix. I would say we have a majority that are solo practice and small law firm, but we have a fair number of big law firm lawyers as well.
And so everyone would feel at home there.
Absolutely, and again, that's what we strive is for this atmosphere of inclusion and again opportunity.
And let's talk about your headquarters. You have a landmark headquarters on VC Street as we tape this show, and I understand you're going to make a dramatic move.
Yeah, I mean it was a long process, a very thoughtful process. And it was a process where we were trying to evaluate what the Bar Association of the 21st century should be and how we could better serve our members and lawyers of today. So, when the building was built, it was built back in the 1930s. It was a different bar back then, and lawyers practiced law differently than they do today. And we were finding that the building was really constraining us in our ability to meet our members' needs, to meet the way our members practice law today. So we were really hampered, particularly in technology inside the building. And we really felt it was not allowing us to really deliver services to our members the way we wanted to. So we began a process, and it was a rather lengthy process of looking to see how could we provide services to our members and the way they practice today. And one aspect of that was staying in the building and modifying it. And another was moving to a newer location where we could incorporate technology and provide lawyers with an environment that they practice in today.
So what will that newer building include?
It's going to include wireless, obviously, throughout the building, which we don't have in our current building because the walls are so thick it just doesn't permit it. It's going to incorporate the ability to do remote meetings, teleconference, video conferencing, telepresence. We're going to be able to do webcasting for our CLE programs. And so it's really going to be able to allow our members to have participation in a virtual sense rather than just the physical sense that, was the way bar associations operated in the past.
And what is the estimated time frame when you'll move to those new headquarters?
Right now we're hoping in the spring, early spring next year. But it's all up to construction and everything else.
What sort of services do you try to offer the general public? What kind of pro bono work? I know we'll hear more about it in a future show, but what kind of pro bono services do you offer the general public?
So we have a very robust pro bono program. Again, that's another reason I'm very proud of this association. So we have a number of programs. We represent pro se taxpayers appearing before tax court in New York. It's the first and only program of its type in New York. We represent veterans who are seeking to upgrade their military discharges that may have been of a lower discharge characterization due to PTSD or traumatic brain injury. We have a legal counseling clinic that counsels on landlord-tenant law, family law. We have a consumer credit counseling program. So there are a wide variety of programs, both for the public in providing service and access to justice for the public, but also for attorneys to be able to contribute back, to be able to contribute back to the public, and also to hone their experience in particular areas of law.
And it could also be an unusual opportunity for them to network.
Yes, it is. It really, pro bono, I think, is a win-win for everybody involved, for the clients and for the lawyers.
You're located near the state and the federal courts, and located in Lower Manhattan, and you'll continue to be so. But what about the interaction between your bar association and members of the judiciary?
I think NYCLA has always had a very close relationship with the judiciary and members of the judiciary. Many of them are members of our board of directors. NYCLA has always been a strong proponent of the judiciary, of an independent judiciary. We've been a proponent for compensation that is fair to the judiciary. So I think it's been a very close relationship, and one that we really work on maintaining.
And you do modify and have reduced dues programs for members of the judiciary or law school faculty or attorneys who work for government agencies or not-for-profit, unlike other bar associations. Yeah,
I mean, a very important part of our membership, I think, is those attorneys that work in the public sector. It's a segment of our membership that we really try to serve and we want to grow, because I think it's an important segment that is too often not focused on by other bar associations. And they really, I think, have a very important voice or perspective in how NYCLA approaches improving the rule of law.
We're going to take a short break now, but when we continue, we'll ask you to tell us about how the New York County Lawyers Association serves both young lawyers and more experienced lawyers from its headquarters in Lower Manhattan. You're listening to Law You Should Know here on 90.3 and also over the internet at nccradio.org. We'll be back in a moment.
This program is brought to you by Nassau Community College, which offers a paralegal studies program. Students can major in paralegal studies while earning their associate's degree, or earn a paralegal certificate if they already have a college degree. These programs can even help you start a second career as a paralegal. It's a program for anyone who wants to work in a law office assisting lawyers, the government, or a position in an insurance company. More information about full-time, part-time, days, evenings, weekends, or online courses is available by calling 516-572-7774 or by email at paralegal@ncc.edu.
Once again, we continue with Law You Should Know. From the Mineola Law Firm of Shane, Dox, Denisi, Corker, and Sauer, here is attorney Kenneth J. Landau.
Hi, this is Ken Landau, and welcome back to Law You Should Know. We're talking with Stephen C. Lessard, and he's the president of the New York County Lawyers Association, with its headquarters in Lower Manhattan and serving lawyers from all the boroughs and the New York area. Tell us about some of the other the layout and services that the new building will allow your members.
So we're really looking to, again, be able to have the capability to leverage on technology. So I think I mentioned that with the CLE, we're going to look to webcast and do webinars. The conference rooms and meeting rooms we're equipping, again, for teleconferencing, video conferencing, and virtual meeting spaces. We're looking to have kind of remote offices where members who are in the downtown area, either for court or for business, can meet with clients in an office setting. So we're really looking to try to enhance services for our members that we just haven't been able to do as effectively in our old space.
And I guess lawyers who don't have a physical office will be able to use your research facilities and your meeting facilities and your teleconference facilities? Yeah.
We're working on our library is going to have access to Westlaw that's available for the members to use. We'll have, again, individual offices that members can use temporarily to meet with clients. It'll be a conference center where I think attorney members would be happy to have their clients come in and meet there.
What are your other, besides overseeing this monumental transition, what are some of your other goals for the New York County Lawyers Association in the years ahead?
So I really want to emphasize the importance of bar associations in protecting the rule of law. I have a background in public service in the sense that I spent 20 years in the Navy. I really believe that public service is an obligation of everyone, and attorneys took an oath similar to the one I took to protect and defend the Constitution. The attorneys took a similar oath, and we really have a responsibility to protect the rule of law. And so I think the best way for an attorney to do that is through a bar association, where our collective voices can merge into a single message. And so I'm hoping to encourage more lawyers to become more active in bar associations, whether that activity is through sections that are seeking to improve the rule of law, or pro bono seeking to improve access to justice. The more we defend the rule of law and instill the faith of the public in the rule of law, the stronger our democracy and our society is.
And through all the pro bono projects you mentioned, I assume you're also trying to help lawyers improve the image of the profession to the general public.
We are, and we do that in a number of ways. I mean, we hold public forums to try to educate the public on various aspects of the law. So, for instance, when New York was considering a constitutional convention, we held a public forum to explain to the public what a constitutional convention was. We held a public forum in 2016 dealing with providers of online legal documents. That forum led to a report that was issued by NYCLA and adopted by the New York State Bar, and is now going up to the ABA to be considered. And it basically outlines kind of best practices for online legal document providers to follow to protect consumers. So we've always been, I think, at the forefront of trying to improve the rule of law, and we continue to do so.
You've mentioned that you do offer free membership for new lawyers and lawyers as they're law students, and also once they're for their first year of admission. Even if they don't want to become a leader right away, can they learn a lot and network with other lawyers just by attending the committees and other events at the Bar Association?
Absolutely. We, again, host a number of events through the Young Lawyers section that are really geared towards networking, towards building mentoring relationships, to exposing the younger lawyers to the bar and to the collegiality within the bar. And we hold events also for more senior lawyers just to be able to network and to learn new aspects about the law. So I think networking is definitely an important aspect of membership in a bar association. It's changing a bit more. It's not quite as physical a connection as it used to be. It's becoming more of a virtual connection. And so that's going to be important in the future, is be able to provide those virtual network connections.
As well as the physical networking ability.
Exactly. They both need to be there.
And lawyers, there's been increasing stories in the legal media and other media about lawyers facing challenges of working, of stress, and things along that line. How do you try to support and help those lawyers, whether they're young or senior lawyers or somewhere in the middle?
That's where I think kind of the mentorship for younger lawyers really helps, to be able to have somebody to reach out to and talk to. And, actually it works for all lawyers, having the events where people can kind of network and get to know each other outside of an adversarial context is also good. And then, we have committees that will focus on issues that attorneys are facing and try to educate on different remedies and routes that attorneys can use when they're in periods of crisis.
And new lawyers and not so new lawyers can learn practical skills and new fields of law that they might be able to use and add to their toolbox.
Absolutely. I don't think you ever stop learning as a lawyer. There's always something new out there, and the law is always changing.
And in New York, we've just seen changes in the landlord-tenant law, which I'm sure you'll be offering many programs to educate lawyers about in the months ahead.
Absolutely. One of our major CLE programs is a landlord-tenant institute where we cover, I'm sure this year is going to be particularly interesting with all the changes in the law.
And take a moment to give us the contact information for the New York County Lawyers Association.
Sure. So right now we're at 14 Vesey Street, downtown. We'll be moving to 28 Liberty Street, a few blocks away. And we're open Monday through Friday. And so anybody can just stop in and meet us at reception there.
And see your physical facilities and meet some lawyers and learn more about the benefits that you offer, and, of course, your numerous CLE programs.
Absolutely. And, of course, we're also on the web, so www.nycla.org.
And that's NYCLA. As president, what other wisdom would you like to share to lawyers out there or to other bar association leaders?
I really just want to, again, encourage attorneys to realize that we have a public service obligation, an obligation to give back. We've been entrusted by the public with the responsibility to protect the rule of law, and I think we need to ensure that we do that. And again, the best way to do that is through a bar association and active participation in a bar association.
And it's also important for lawyers to support each other and the bar association as well, because that's an association that unites us. Exactly.
Again, we, as a collective voice, I think we wield a lot of power.
And we just have one moment left in the show. Anything else that you would like to share with the audience?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to come on and speak with you. I'm looking forward to our pro bono director being on the show and talking about NYCLA's pro bono programs, because I really think that's one area where we excel. And
as you said in the beginning of the show, any lawyer is going to be at home at the New York County Lawyers Association. It's a very diverse group. It includes a lot of sole practitioners as well as leaders at some of the larger firms in Manhattan. And all lawyers are welcome.
Exactly. Again, NYCLA was founded on bedrock principles of diversity and inclusion. It is a bar association of opportunity for all.
And you even have special dues reductions for members of affiliate bars and various ethnic bars that are based in Manhattan.
Yes.
And do you have to try to have joint programs with those bar associations?
Absolutely. And we have in the past, and we plan to in the future, particularly when we move into our new space. I feel, again, service to any bar association is a responsibility of attorneys. It doesn't have to be just our bar association. I think we have a lot to offer that other bar associations don't, but I really feel like attorneys should be active in any bar association. It's very important.
And attorneys do not have to live in Manhattan or even practice Manhattan to feel at home at the New York County Lawyers Association or to take advantage of its benefits.
Exactly. Again, we welcome all, and we provide an opportunity for all.
Okay, I would like to thank Stephen C. Lessard for being our guest and telling us about the New York County Lawyers Association. Just remember their website is at nycla.org, and you can keep up to date with their exciting developments as they move to a new high-tech headquarters, or in the next few months visit them at their old landmark headquarters at 14 BC Street. You're listening to Law You Should Know here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. Also, there's a podcast, and if you missed it, you can go to the website, nccradio.org, and hear any part of it. Please join us at this same time next week for another program of Law You Should Know.